Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, I'm going to be covering racket breakage. Now, whether it's your fault, you smashed it on top of the net, let go of it on a serve, or just hit a plain old forehand and your racket breaks. It snaps. The graphite caves in. There's a big crack on it. There's a hairline fracture on it. All those will be covered today. Now, the number one question, is your racket covered under warranty? Right? I'm going to tell you if it is. Okay? Hang tight. All right. So I got angry. I took my racket. And I went, wham! Right, that. You see pros do it. You see kids do it. You see a lot of people do it, right? Sometimes the racket breaks. Sometimes it doesn't, right? Sometimes you get so mad you slam it so tight or you know, just whack the top of that net and your racket cracks, right? Just like that. Okay? Now, is that covered under, let's say this is a Wilson, is it covered under the Wilson warranty? Well, the answer is no, because they don't cover abuse. Okay? Now, what do they look for when, let's say you decide that you want to bring this racket to the store or send it back to Wilson yourself to see if you can get a warranty on it, to see if you can get a new racket? Well, first and foremost, right, when you buy a racket, keep your receipt, because they want a receipt. All the manufacturers want a receipt, because you get 1 year from that receipt to get your racket warranted. Now, there are specifications as to what is warrantyable, and abuse is not one of them. Okay? So they can actually tell, I mean, this was abused, right? Somebody smashed it right there. Okay? So they look at impact marks. That's wear and tear, actually. So that is wear and tear. Impact marks are like that, right, where it impacts. I mean, this racket has been on the ground a lot. Let's put it that way. I mean, you dig for shots, and they call it wear and tear. So wear and tear is not covered. If your racket looks all beat up like this and then it's cracked there, they will not cover this racket. They also look at, so the strongest part of this racket is going to be underneath this head guard, because the head guard actually helps saves the integrity and the structure of the racket. So I would say 99% of the time, if it's cracked underneath the head guard, it is definitely not going to be covered. Okay? So this Pro Staff is garbage. Okay. Now that might be covered, okay? If it's broken here, 4 and 8 o'clock, or 4 and 8 o'clock, I don't know, whatever you guys see me at, that can be covered and will be covered most of the time, because the weakest spots on a tennis racket are the corners, 4 and 8, 10 and 2, right? So usually when you break it here, it means that most of the time when I broke it here, it means that I hit the ball here, like at 12 o'clock. Either it was a high shot, like an overhead smash, or I just nailed that frame on that ball on an overhead smash, or maybe a super hard serve. This is where it would break. And that is warrantyable. You probably will get a new racket back for that, unless the racket is all smashed up, like meaning like there's marks all over the place. There's impact marks from hitting the ground, or the other way you can crack this is whacking it on top of the net. That net cord, underneath that net cord, is metal. Okay? I know it looks nice and soft up there. If you whack it like that on that net cord, it can break your racket. All right? It's metal under there. It's a metal rod or rope underneath that net cord. So don't hit the net cord. Okay? So you'll probably get a new one back on this one. This Pure Strike is broken at the throat here. Now, rackets don't usually break there, right? It almost never breaks there naturally. So if you look at the racket, there's definitely wear and tear here. The guy's worn out the head guard there, which means this racket gets impacted a lot on both sides, right? So this racket's getting scrubbed a lot, right? But that doesn't mean that the racket should break there. That's a very, very strange place for this to break. So my guess is that the racket was sitting on top of a bag like so, or against a wall, right? And it was a little too close to the court. Somebody ran by, maybe, and stomped on it right there. And the bag was full, right? And then it cracked right there. Like, that's my guess. I've seen that happen before. Because it's hard to break right there at the throat. It just doesn't happen that way without some type of abuse. Or, I mean, the guy didn't, maybe he hit the net cord. But, I mean, I've heard so many stories. People run over their rackets with their car. So things happen. I get it. So they'll look at that and say, yeah, there's no way. There's no way a racket should break there on its own. So it will not be warranted. Okay. Now this blade, I don't know if you've ever seen this in your rackets, but this blade is cracked right here. Okay. That is usually warranted. Now, most of the time when I see this, right, it's something to have to do with the stringing, actually. Either whoever strings the racket is not tightening up the brace of the string of the machine on the racket really tight, or whoever is requesting the string job is asking for, one way tighter than the other by maybe 5 pounds or more. When you ask for like your cross 5 pounds tighter, then you put a lot of strain on it going this way, right? Therefore, when you punish, the ball, right, over and over thousands of times each time you play, right, it weakens that part, and that part starts to crack, right? I've seen this kid who does 55, 60, 55 on the main, 60 on the cross. It's ALU and NXT. He goes through 4 rackets a year, and they all crack here and here, because he's got that 5 pounds extra going this way. And he hits a ton. He hits the ball really, really hard. So the rackets will tend to give right there if it's uneven tension, or the person who's stringing the racket isn't tightening it enough, and it's moving, it's warping, reshaping as the person's stringing it. All right, so that is probably going to be warranted though. So keep your receipt on that one, because they will probably replace that for you. I'm going to show you what abuse looks like. Okay? So this one was brought to me, right? You see the smash, the crack here and here, right? And you see a crack right there, right? So whoever this person was, right, they smashed it on the ground, right? Not once, not twice. I would say probably 3 or 4 times, because usually the first smash won't look this bad yet. It won't look this bad yet, right? And then the more you smash it, another place will break, and that's what happened here. So probably 1, 2, right? And you get that. You keep going, and the other part starts to crack. So that's definitely not warranted, okay? That's called abuse. That is a net cord. Somebody smashed the net cord. See that? Here. You got mad, you took it, you went to the net cord, you went wham, right? And you hit it solidly flushed right there. Okay? It's actually okay on this side. It's just this side is that caved in. That, because there's an impact mark there and wear and tear on the racket, will not be covered. But this is worth a shot. You probably got a 10% chance, but I doubt it. I doubt it. If it was clean and this happened, and let's say there's no marks on the racket except for that, you got a 10% chance at getting a racket back. That's garbage. Okay. So this Technifiber racket, we got a crack right there. That's an interesting break. That is a warranty, because that is a very unique place to break. Again, this could be a couple different things. It could be the stringer, like again, not mounting it tight enough. I mean, I don't see impacts on here. So this is kind of a mystery as to why it cracked right there. I mean, usually forehands, backhands are not going to cause this. A serve and overhead might, but it usually is cracked up here. So I'm guessing it has something to do with, like I said, the stringer, the string job, or you know, it's a manufacturer's flaw. I mean, if I keep seeing this on these rackets, then it's definitely a manufacturer's flaw. But this is the first one I've seen. So this will be warranted. You will get a new racket back for this one. Okay, so this one, this Pure Arrow, definitely could have been a net cord. Somebody could have smashed this on the net cord from what it looks like to me. Or somebody dropped it on a serve. What does that mean? Dropped it on a serve? I'm going to back up a little bit just to show you what that means. So I'm serving, right? I'm serving, and I let go, right? Didn't mean to let go, just slipped out of my hand, okay? When you do that, it can crack here. It can crack here, right? It can crack bottom half here, and it can crack up here underneath the head guard. Okay? So this definitely could have been that, but it definitely looks like it was smashed on a net cord, or a bench, or a pole, or any object out there that's hard, right? That I would try to send back and see what they say. I would say your chances are maybe 10 to 20% that you will get a new one. So definitely try on this one. If you have a receipt, try on this one. Okay. This pure arrow is cracked up here, right? I know for a fact that this was broken on a serve. The person told me that. So exactly what I did, like that, racket hit the ground, and it cracked right there. It cracked right there. So that, not warranted. Not warranted. Right over here on the side. Okay? That's a pretty clean break. It's on the inside. That definitely could have happened on an overhead that hit the top of the frame. Or a serve that hit the top of the frame if somebody serves really, really hard. So that is warranted. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through the rest. Serve again, right there. That's a serve. Right? Cracked up there. It impacted at the top and cracked right there on this one. Right? Not warranted. Same thing here. Serve. Right? Serve again. Okay, so here we got, yeah, serve again. Everybody's having that loose grip on the serve, cracking these rackets. Serve again. Serve again. Serve again. Okay. Now, a lot of our broken rackets, cracked rackets here today were Babolat arrows. That doesn't mean anything though. I'm just saying that the people who break them that come to us tend to be a little on the younger side, the high school kids. You know, I remember breaking a lot of rackets when I was in high school. You know, you kind of just have that fiery temper, right? That's just how it is. So, so don't let that, you know, all these rackets being arrows scare you into buying one, because I mean, they're good rackets. It's just that type of person that is cracking these. So, but number one, when you buy a racket, keep your receipt. Whether you buy it from your store or your warehouse places online, keep that receipt. Just make sure you have it, okay? Because whoever it is that you're going to send it back to is going to want that. All right? So, good luck to you. Try not to smash a racket. Have fun, all right? But I hope you learned something about warranties today, okay? Thanks for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.